All right, we are perfect. Well, webinar. We are so excited to be here, and we're so excited to be in Los Angeles. My name is Natalia Carrasco. I'm the head of community growth and marketing here at One Degree. I'm joined today by intern Jason Lopez. Thank you all for being here today. Dive into what One Degree is. I'm going to make a training about how you can agree to impact all of your clients even more so, and to have just the best tools available out there for nonprofit professionals. I'm going to show you some ways to take advantage of One Degree, and what I would love for you to use this time to start brainstorming, how can this tool benefit me and my community in my organization? You're going to have time for questions at the end. Feel free to just type them on the chat box on the right of your screen, so you don't forget, and then we'll address it at the end. Also, you can send us any questions you may have via Twitter using the hashtag OneDegreeLive. Send us any on the chat box or via Twitter. And yeah, so let's just get started. Thank you once again for being here. We're super excited. I'm going to switch so you can see a presentation. So I'll be right back. We'll see you in a second. All right. Welcome. So One Degree is a nonprofit. It's important that you know that all of our services are free, and we've been around for 5 years. We've backed by many foundations like the Kresge Foundation, the Knight Foundation, the Tipping Point, Yahoo. We're part of Y Combinator, and we're now in Los Angeles thanks to the LA County Department of Health Services, which has been a vital partnership for us to bring One Degree in Los Angeles. It's to pass out of poverty for themselves and for their communities part all come in. We know you're working hard on empowering people, and we want to equip you there. So for everyone that's helping other people. One Degree is the way that we're going about this mission is that is the go-to place so people access at any time for anyone and anywhere. That means together find any type of that you may find, from Zumba classes to after-school programs to with addiction. And so far, before we launched here in Los Angeles, we were in the San Francisco Bay Area, and for the last 5 years, and more than 225,000 people have used One Degree and access resources through it in just this 5 years. So just in the San Francisco Bay, looking forward to increasing that impact list. There's many community members that support us. Like we wanted to tell you, for example, the story of Francisco. Francisco works in a nonprofit here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and he now uses One Degree to search for resources for his clients himself, but also he's given his staff of case managers access to One Degree, so they too can feel empowered to find resources at any time. So one thing that he mentioned was that actually, since he feels like he's got access to double empowerment because his staff. Second, we're having technical difficulties. Give me 1 second. You're still on. I'm still on screen share. I'm so sorry. You can't see my presentation. Thank you, Jason. Give me 1 second, everyone. Going to share my screen. Oh my goodness. Sorry for that. Share. All right. Now you should be able to see my presentation. Sorry about that. So what I've been showing you, this is our mission. You only miss a slideshow with pretty patience. So I was telling you the story of Francisco. He says that since to his work, he's seen a double empowerment. First, his staff is more empowered with tools that make their jobs way easier, but also their clients feel like after leaving their appointments with their case managers and whatnot, they can go home and search for resources for them appointment with their case managers, so that they can look at this, so the next time they have appointments with their case managers, they can focus on more important things like getting actual access them or how to build better paths out of poverty. So this is the story about Francisco. Now I'm going to switch into our website so I can show you the site in action, so you can actually see it. I know some of you joined us in our launch presentation in the California Endowment building a couple of weeks back. So for you, I'm going to revise a couple of words that you may have already learned, but for everyone else, this might be new. So this is our website. You can always access it at www.degree.org. And then you can set this up to Los Angeles. So okay, this is 1 degree. We have thousands and thousands of resources in Los Angeles. So organize all of those resources and across all of these categories. And the way that we've information is between what we call opportunities, organizations, and collections. So you're gonna hear me say those terms a lot, those three things: opportunities, organizations, and collections. So let me just go straight into an example to show you what the difference between. So I'm gonna use an example for something we all need always, food. I search food near Los Angeles, there we go. Find a food pantry, get a hot meal, enroll in CalFirst. There's a bunch of different types of services. So here, for example, Los Angeles food bombs. If we use this example, what it says here, get a hot meal, this is what the opportunity is. So it's super straightforward. Find a food pantry, get a hot meal, enroll in CalFresh, get affordable groceries. So is this service or program? So it's very straightforward about what can I get. Los Angeles Food Not Bombs is the actual organization that offers it. So that's the difference. So we never want you to spend a lot of time trying to figure out what does Los Angeles Food Not Bombs offer. Is it they give me cash to find food, or is it a prepared meal, or is it groceries? I don't know. So we never want you to spend time trying to read through paragraphs of information to find that out. That's why we flip things around and we show you the opportunity. So it's get a hot meal. Also, immediately I know this is not a grocery delivery program. This is not cash for food. This is a hot meal. In this case, enroll in CalFresh, that is so I wanted to make it super straightforward so you never have to waste any time figuring out what it's about. So this is opportunities. Find food pantry, get a hot meal, and this is an organization, Los Angeles Food Not Bombs. Now, I talked to you about a third concept that we split the database into, and that's what we call collections. A collection is like a playlist where I can keep my favorite resources. So I can make a collection of all the food resources in my neighborhood, and I can call it, okay, food options. And then I can decide what I put in there. So I can put this one and this one and this one. I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. But just so you know, the concept collection is kind of like a folder that you would use to organize the opportunities that you find on 1 degree. So those are the three opportunities right here. That's what we show you first by default. Organizations, which are the organizations that specialize in that, in whatever it is you put in the keyword search up here. And then we'll have collections here. If there's collections that people have built already, food resources in LA, or healthy meals, cooking classes. So these are all made by people. So for Alexa, for example, made food banks in Huntington Park. So Alexa could have chosen to make she chose to make this a public collection, so anyone looking for food near a lake can see it. But she could have also made it private for only her to see, or for to just have her organization. Now you know the difference between opportunities, organizations, and collections. So let's go back into our page. I'm going to now that we know the difference between those three concepts, I'm going to show you how to search. 3 different ways to search on OneDegree. The first one is the one I show you using this the keyword. So I can search for jobs, looking for a specific organization that I already know, and I want to see where they are, their exact address. So maybe I type Lyft, because I've heard of this program. Very specific, Lyft LA, so I can find it. So that's what keyword works best for, very specific things or specific types of services. So want to explore different options. So we've created what we call the visual search right here to the left where it says new search. So I'm going to see all of the options of the categories of services. So household, food, health, housing. So this is kind of like a guide. So we tell, okay, let's start here, and we're gonna walk you through how to choosing the right resource. So for example, if I'm looking for, let's say I'm working with a person struggling with drug addiction. So I'm going to start, I don't know where that would be, and I don't know what are they even called. So I say, I know that's it's a health situation. Okay, so now I know it. It could be self-health, pregnancy, general health, addiction. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Perfect. I can even further narrow down even more: alcohol, detox, drugs, needle exchange, or I can say, show me everything that there's out there. Like here, see all. And I'm going to see all of the options that are related to addiction near Los Angeles. Perfect. So that's what visual search is for. And then there's one more way to search, which is, let's say I want to discover resources again, but I want to do it very quickly and get a quick glance of everything that's out there. So I come here, browse resources on the top of the page here, and I can see all of the categories at a glance, and then I can hover and see the subcategories and the sub-subcategories super quickly. So in my same case for the resource for addiction, I can super quickly look at, okay, we know it's health, know it's addiction. Oh, there's alcohol, detox, drug. Oh, perfect. Let me go to needle. Let me go to needle exchange. So I get to the same page, results page. All of the opportunities out there, or I can choose to see what organizations are helping. The 3 ways to search: keyword, or the visual search, or the quick drop-down menu with all the options. So now let's do another example. Jason, what is an example of community needs time? Great example. Right, so let's do childcare. The keyword search. Now, I'm going to show you what I call the filter feature. I'll call it. So the idea is, okay, there's a bunch of opportunities out there. I want to find the right one for my patient or client. I can filter results by language, meaning if my client is a monolingual Spanish speaker, I don't want to send them to a place where they won't be able to communicate or to enroll their kid. So I can click here into language and click on Spanish. Results here are going to be narrowed into, so it will show me just the organizations that are specifically serving a Spanish-speaking community. So I click here and it's going to narrow it down. There we go. For resources for a specific community, I can come in here and say, show people with disabilities, or and I can click on more and see all of the different communities served. So I can say, show me resources for refugees or survivors of domestic violence, and so on. So this helps me narrow down all of the. Since we mentioned, show you a super quick trick. This is the opportunity that we accessed. Gives me. This is what once I click on the opportunity, this is what I see of what this opportunity entails. Any hours listed that are available, and then I see any information is going to be here. For example, they're available in Spanish, they're free, I know right away, and I can see what type of organ to work with. And this thing, we never go some phone calls about what it is you need to do service. Everyone the opportunity has what to do here. It's a link and enter your city and click on the map. Perfect. So it could be, the next step could be call this person, go to this place, fill out this form. What your next step should be in order to access this information. You can also share with your patient via email, text message. And you can also save it. Let's say I often, so I can super quickly say, I want to see this, I click on save to my bookmarks. 1 second. There we go. So I put my bookmarks is a kind of like an automatic collection that we all have. So I click there. The childcare is going to be right here on the left. On the left, you have this blue panel where you can keep things. So you go here to my bookmarks, and right there it is, find childcare. So you can decide what you keep here. So you can with one-click access. So if I'm always being asked about where can I find childcare near this clinic, I can come here and say, bam, right here. First, and then you can even come here and click on get directions and tell them what bus to get on. Also see reviews from other people who have used this service. We don't have many in Los Angeles yet because we're just about to launch. And then also notes. You can add a note here to yourself. Tell people for Donna. Write a note. You can make it only available to yourself, available to your teammates, like right here. So it says, because I work at 1 degree, sorry. But if I work, say, at the YMCA, it will say YMCA right here. Or I can make it public. So anyone that goes, say, FYI, on Tuesdays, there's no line. Make so I can use this to leave any notes and to personalize the way I access information. So now that I showed you how to filter, search, and opportunities, I want to show you that little trick that we developed as a request from a social worker. So let's say I'm working with someone in Spanish. I can click here and click on Español. This is without navigating away and without having to start. This is going to be translated into Spanish. ¿Qué hacer a continuación, etc. So I can share it right now. Click on the icon of sharing, and this is going to automatically share to my want in Spanish, even though, and then I can just click right back and continue working in English. So I could help someone that didn't speak Spanish. So that's a neat trick. So I also want to show you other collections. You can click here on share, on save, and you can create any collection that you want. I'm going to show you some examples of collections I have. For example, resources for teens, job resources, best food pantries in San Francisco, Natalia's internship choices, free groceries galore. So I can put it put this particular resource in any collection I see fit. Pregnant women and boy height. Or I can create a new collection. So collection. There we go. So I can say this. Oh, 1 second. Or secure, so it doesn't put my password in every once in a while. And we are extra secure. I don't even know my password, so I have to use that little tool. All right. So now we can create a new collection and say childcare near clinic. And my zip code is 9018. And after I put my first and last name, but then I can decide to make this collection public, or I can make it private for now, so it's only that I decide can see the collection I did. There, create collection. A tool for doing collaborations, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to skip into one examples of how people are using this. Many clinics have their own resource binders. For example, here in let's talk about community health clinic in Los Angeles. Dignity Health Hospital is called. I'm sorry, St. Mary's. I almost forgot their name. So St. Mary's Hospital. They're in Long Beach. So they, for example, have a resource binder thick of all of the resources that they often refer their clients to. So now instead of having to keep that, trying to keep that up to date, all right, I searched for the wrong term. Let me show you another example. There is an organization called Suitcase Clinic here in Berkeley, here in San Francisco. So they offer healthcare for homeless people, but because they're so good with their community, they're always being asked for referrals. So they put together what we call a collection, but it literally is the online version of the resource. So here it is, Suitcase Clinic resource list. It has 4 resources. So they just took all of their binder and built a digital version of it. Here we go. Counseling, dental care, violence resources, and they can just start adding here. So this just started literally like the collection that I showed you a few minutes ago. They just, instead of, you know how I typed clinic, instead of that, they typed Suitcase Clinic resource lists. You can turn that collection into a resource guide like this, and then you can share this with your entire team. So let me show you how to do that super quickly. I'm going to use this variety of support groups, something I created, and here it is. 19 resources there. I started the one I showed you. So now what I can do is click here on edit the page. Photo, I can change who can see it if it's just for my team. For example, if you work at the Mama Center instead of 1 Degree. Or I can make this private to myself. And change the basic details right here. Or I can also manage the collaborators. If I want to make my team help me do it, I can, for example, here, I am the owner, but I added my colleague Audrey as an editor. So I can continue inviting other people to help me build this resource guide, inviting them as an editor, or I can invite other people to just view. So I can make this still a private collection, but only some people can see it. And if I wanted to add, for example, Jason as my collaborator, I just add Jason at onedegree.org. Jason Lopez, there we go. Send invitation. So now Jason will have access, and together we can continue creating this collection. So this is how you can turn just this collection feature into a digital version of of your resource guide. And the best thing is that 1 Degree will make sure that if any of these organizations that I added here change their phone numbers or anything, we take it upon ourselves to keep this up to date. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. I want to make sure we have some minutes for questions. So I'm going to show you what we call 1 Degree referrals. It's our tool to make it easy to build plans for your patients, make referrals, but also keep track and close the loop of care by tracking the progress of your patients after receiving the referral. So super quickly, the first thing is to make sure you have your account, and then when you go to settings, make sure that you have what we call a pro member account. These are still free, but it just indicates you're a nonprofit professional. Here you go, pro membership. So check this box so you get access to these tools. I'm going to show you referrals really quickly because we have a separate webinar just about referrals because there's so much you can do with it. So stay tuned to receive our invitation to our referrals webinar so we can show you just referrals. But I'm going to show you the gist of it. The idea is that through referrals, I can make a list of my clients or my patients, and these are all fictitious names, by the way. And I can just, for example, create an account for my test, and I can find things for him and refer him to them, like find funding for childcare. And then the client can indicate if they've completed or if it's in progress. 1 Degree will send automatic reminders, and I could even print this plan for them and just send it away. I could even create a printed, they're not computer savvy. I can also do the via cell phone. I'm going to show you super quickly just a sneak peeks. Like for example, if I decide to share it via phone, you can come here and they'll say, Andrea, I referred you to these resources here. You can reply yes or no, and that way I can start keeping track of their progress. I'll show you more of that, but it takes a lot of time. Not that much time, but I'll save it for a follow-up referral. Yeah, I'll just show you super quickly how you create it. So you see, I created my client and I just create a referral right here, create a referral. Then I search for any resources using any of the tools. But right here on the left, 1 Degree is telling me you're searching for resources for text in my test. So for example, if this is the perfect one, I just click here on the universal arrow for referrals. Add it right here into my referrals. I click done. Test on my test will get referred to that service. Some options, so you can even notify the organization that you're sending tester to. And it's a really great tool to close the loop of care. All of these tools are free and right now. So you can start exploring the minute we finish this webinar. I'm going to our regular hello. So I want to make sure we have some time for questions. If you get any questions via email or via hashtag 1 Degree Life.
Right. So one of the questions that we got, how secure is the information? Like that?
Great question. Compliant. So that's the level of security possible. That means any patient information, you same level of security that a HUD. So very secure.
Like, what is it? What?
It's completely free, free of cost to you. Even if you're a pro member, that just means you're a social worker, case manager, or work at a clinic, any type of nonprofit professional. So anyone that wants to help other people, if you're not looking for resources yourself, you're a pro member. And it's important that you know that this service is going to stay free. It's not like it's free now and 3 months from now we'll switch. It's very important to our mission.
Right. And then the final question that I had is, one degree only in LA City, or is it like in the entire county?
Oh, great question. So right now we're available in all of LA County. Working on to continue adding other areas. We also started in the San Francisco Bay Area, so we're available in the whole 9 counties of the San Francisco Bay Area.
Awesome.
All right, that's all what time we have for today. Stay tuned. We're going to send you some follow-up emails to invite you to the refer webinar. Think at onedegreestrategy.org. Yeah, we can put together a virtual or an in-person for yourself as well. Or if you have ways we can collaborate, let us know. Also, we have some beautiful for our guests. A couple of weeks ago at a everyone from joining us from LA County and from anywhere. Thank you so much. Stay in touch. We're looking forward.
Goodbye.